Mic check! Mic check! My name is Dylan, and you should be very proud of what you have accomplished.
I agree with your goals. Occupy Wall Street.
God bless them for their spontaneity. It's young, it's spontaneous, and it's going to be effective.
I'm so impressed by what I'm seeing here.
Protesters are giving voice to a more broad-based frustration about how our financial system works.
What's happening here is a real grassroots movement, unlike the Tea Party, which is a manufactured movement.
We call it AstroTurf. It's not really a grassroots movement.
The problem with the Tea Party movement,
They're just sewer rats.
Is that they can't continue to be pulled to the right by the radical, unrealistic, unreasonable, I repeat, radical and unpopular faction, the Tea Party.
Hello, citizens of the world. We are anonymous.
I say take the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, go back to hell where your fucking guns.
Cameras caught evidence of drug use and paraphernalia.
Like, you have hippies in the Vogue that actually take acid every day.
Hey, asshole!
This woman, who didn't want to be identified, claims she was raped here in one of the tents.
You're gonna get fucked up.
Why are you putting sugar in harm's way? Yeah, why would you do that?
Safety has become a very big concern around here. They are starting to even assault one another.
I kind of like it that they're sort of militantly vague at this point.
We are finally telling you the true story of the radicals behind the Occupy movement.
Occupy San Francisco, Occupy LA, Occupy DC, and now Occupy Chicago.
All right, we're here with Steve Bannon at BlogCon, and Steve, I've never seen a standing ovation for an uncompleted film before.
Completed first act of the film.
I mean, that room, and that standing ovation is on YouTube now as we speak, absolutely ate up what you showed. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. It was amazing to watch it go on.
You know, Andrew Breitbart really understood the story in back of Occupy, and I'm just very pleased that at first when Andrew came to me to make the film, I turned it down. And because he and I are very, very close friends, we actually share a house in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill with Larry Solow, who's the CEO of the company. And the reason was that I didn't really get the story. I mean, when Andrew talked to me about doing it in November, I didn't really see the story, and he and I had a big debate about it, and I was just so busy doing other things. When Andrew came back to me right at the beginning of the year, when the project wasn't making really any progress, and we sat down and he explained it to me, it really became a revelation. And as I started filming him and putting the footage together, I realized he was right. He had a very sophisticated, Andrew's oftentimes dismissed by the left as being a buffoon, and he's anything but. He's an incredibly sophisticated guy about the media. I mean, this film is about narrative. That's why I wanted to come down to BlogCon and talk to guys like you and all the people at BlogCon who are really his band of brothers. The simple fact is that it was new media that supported the Tea Party and rose up out of nowhere and created this great surge that culminated in the victory of 2010. And that's why I started to film in the August debt debate, because everything that the bloggers had worked on, everything the Tea Party talked about came at that time, but we had never really debated ever increasing the national debt, and we had this huge debate. And the left and the permanent political class realized they had to change their narrative. And Occupy commenced 6 weeks later. And this whole film is about how they did successfully change the narrative. But we go back, it's a non-linear movie. What we showed here at BlogCon today, it's the first time I've ever shown a rough when I haven't edited something. I haven't had a time with my editor, Casey Kirby. We compiled this, but we haven't done the jump cuts my films are known for. We haven't done all the intensity. So what people saw today was a compilation. If they think they liked it now, when they see, and this is only Act 1, it'll be it'll be much more intense later. What we really have here is a war film. This is a war film, and that's why Andrew's voice in it, Andrew's life force in it, you can see throughout the entire first act, he's just kind of driving the narrative.
Now, Steve, we're talking about the movie Occupy Unmasked, which is coming out at the end of May, was it? Or?
Yeah, right now we're tentatively scheduled we're looking to try to release the film sometime right after Memorial Day.
Now, one of the things I've noticed about the film, at least the amount that we saw of it, was it focuses on, as you said, the media narrative. You can see the media talking about what Occupy is, talking about what Occupy is, but not talking about what Occupy actually is. It's more of what they wanted Occupy to be.
That's why I try to show Act 1 of the film. The film's going to be non-linear, and the fact that Act 1, it shows you that the voice you're hearing is the media telling you what it is, and I'm showing you the reality in the footage of what it really is. And so it's bifurcated, and I think that an audience is sitting there and you're like so shocked. And remember, this audience at BlogCon is incredibly sophisticated about this kind of stuff. This has John Sexton, Durham Serum, all the information that came out about Occupy came out of this room really throughout the country. Think about a middle class audience that really has because the mainstream media didn't play a lot of footage. I'm telling you, they will sit there and be shocked. And that's why Act 1 is to show how the media narrative was and what the reality was. Act 2, and that's why when Act 1 ends, you're at the fires of Oakland, you're going to go through the anonymous mask, and you're going to be over the canopy of Vietnam, and you'll see a napalming, and we're going to go back in time to the 60s, and you're going to go all the way, Act 2 with David Horowitz and Andrew Breitbart will take you all the way through to August 4th, 2012. That'll be Act 2, and then Act 3 will be the inextricably linked nature between the Democrat media apparatus, the Democratic Party, the unions, the Obama campaign, and how they've used what I posit is occupies the new brown shirts. That they've used this as an instrument of intimidation, and so that's what Act 3 will be. And I think at the end of the film, I hope it'll be as shocking as it's been for me to make the film.
Now, this is an odd question to ask, but I can't not ask this question.
Sure.
To what degree is Andrew's death going to drive this film before the eyes of people who might not have given it a first look if Andrew had been alive?
You know, I don't know that. I think, and you see this is one of the reasons it's been so tough to edit. You know, I wanted this film. Andrew and I always planned on this movie coming out on May Day. What we wanted to do was have it in Zuccotti Park on a big screen on May Day, just to put it up in their face, right? We're clearly not going to make that schedule. One of the reasons it was very tough to jump back into the film after Andrew's death. You know, I'm now the executive chairman of the Breitbart company. Andrew and I, and Larry's now the CEO and president. So we've had to fill a big void, you know, because we launched the new site, you know, 3-4 days after Andrew passed away, and it was just, it was incredibly tough to get focused on it because this is Andrew's movie. It's his voice. It's almost in every major scene. I think, and I think Andrew would hope that it would allow more people to have some sort of interest in what one of his last works was. But I hope what the film shows is that Andrew Breitbart's, you know, gone, and you can never replace him. I said that today in the talk. But the spirit of Andrew Breitbart's going to live on. You can see that life force in the movie and what he stood for, which is really promulgated in all the people at BlogCon and all these young people he inspired in social media. So I hope that that's what people remember, and that's what drives the interest in the film.
All right, Steve, where can people find the preview online?
You're not going to see a preview online. We gave this very specially to the BlogCon people. Quite frankly, the reason...
Well, I mean this preview, like a trailer, I should say. I meant to say a trailer.
OccupyUnmasked.com. You can also go to, just Google Occupy Unmasked. Go to Citizens United. The company that's producing it is Citizens United in conjunction with Victory Media. But this is Dave Bossi and Dave and I have made, I think this is our 5th film. Dave's studio's doing it. Dave's producing the movie. You can go to his website, the Citizens United website, and see that. We're going to be putting out other expanded trailers. Given the reaction today, I was very touched with the standing ovation at the end.
Okay, so people, go and check this out, and believe me, after seeing this film, you're going to want to check out all the others. Steve, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Tech Guy.